Welcome back to Dynamics. Okay, so this is not going to be a magic related video. So if that's what you're looking for, that's not what we're doing today. I wanted to try some other stuff. And so I've kind of mentioned it in passing, but I didn't really, I've not really done any videos about it. But I'm a fan of professional wrestling. And, mostly WWE. I try to keep up with Impact, and I try to keep up with AEW, but I only really get to watch like the highlights online. I don't have access to the channel that those are on. I don't have cable, so I just watch the WWE Network on Peacock, and I watch the replays on Hulu, which cuts out some of the content from Raw and SmackDown and NXT, but I do watch it. Haven't been the biggest fan of the product lately, so I haven't really wanted to do any videos about it, but today I kind of want to do my first video. I really think this is some huge news, and I kind of wanted to talk about it. You've probably already seen, if you're a wrestling fan, Vince McMahon is officially retiring from the WWE. He is moving on to that next stage of life where he just focuses on his allegations and lawsuits. Oh, that guy. Anyway, so he's officially retired, both from the business side and from the creative side. He will not be running the promotion anymore. He will not be running the shows for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, and so they will be moving on to different creative. I would imagine that as of right now, I think Bruce Pritchard is still involved, so he's still going to be kind of running creative. That may change, and that's kind of one of the things I want to talk about. How are they going to move forward, and is this an exciting thing? Is this a something that I'm excited about? Which I am. I've been watching the product since I was a little tiny baby Jero, and going and watching wrestling whenever I got the chance, whether I had cable or I didn't have cable. We would go down to the corner store and get VHS tapes of the old WrestleManias and the old Royal Rumbles and Survivor Series, and we would watch those. And then for a while in my life, I had cable, so I got to watch Monday Night Raw, and then when SmackDown came around, I got to watch SmackDown. Been a big fan since I was a little kid. And before you go, her, it's not real. I know. I would say 99% of people realize that it is a choreographed event that you're watching. It's a show. It is not a sporting event. It is a fun entertainment. Some people like to call it male soap operas. That's fine by me. I enjoy the story more than the wrestling, although I am a big fan of athletic wrestling, storytelling wrestling, wrestling with the storytelling. So I'm an old school fan. So it's basically one of those things where it's like, I get that a lot of the newer fans are moving towards AEW, and I do want to eventually be able to watch the product in full, and I do plan on doing that if they ever move to a streaming service. If they get on HBO Max, I'll watch that. If they get on some other streaming service, I'll be excited to be able to watch those shows in full. But I still will probably always be more of a WWE fan. But what I think is going to happen is WWE is going to be more entertaining for everybody. I think we're going to see Triple H, Paul Levesque taking a bigger role in the creative side of the WWE. He did a great job when he was running NXT. NXT's kind of gone downhill since he left and hasn't been able to run it. And since basically the WWE was forcing NXT to let go of all the wrestlers that came in under his watch, and all of the people that were running the show kind of got fired, and so NXT 2.0, as it were, has been kind of like, it hasn't been good. Let's just say it as it is. The champion, Braun Breaker, stupid name. He's pretty good. He'll be fine. He'll move up to the main roster and he'll be fine. But in general, the storytelling's not been great. The wrestling's not been great, and it's a developmental system. That's what they want to focus on. But they haven't been developing. The wrestling's gotten worse. The storytelling's gotten worse. The characters have gotten worse, and so I'm really hoping that not only WWE but NXT all start improving now with this new direction. I'd like to see Stephanie and Khan, not AEW Khan, the what is his name, in Nick Khan in WWE, running the business side of things, and then Triple H, and maybe he can get Paul Heyman involved, and Bruce Pritchard can be involved too if they can figure out how to work together. They can work on running the creative side of things. If Stephanie and Nick Khan decide they need to do some budget cuts, as it were, then instead of them just going in and just hatcheting away whoever they feel like that can start being more of a creative decision that goes into it, and so they go to Triple H and say, hey, we need to cut this much from the budget, you pick who we cut, instead of just like, oh, who's got the biggest contracts, cut them, and then all of a sudden you have no stars left. So I think WWE is going to improve. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. I would love to do more videos about the WWE and about wrestling in general, and I hope that I get to do that. Now we have the story that Brock Lesnar walked out when he found out that Vince McMahon retired. That's fine. It really is. They shouldn't have brought him back for this SummerSlam match to begin with. He is a great attraction, but if he's just going to wrestle Roman Reigns every time he comes back, it's boring. Have him come back. He could have wrestled Bobby Lashley again, even. Like, it was a fun match. We could get that match again. We could get Brock Lesnar and why is his name popping out of my head? Anyways, we could get different matches, right? And so that's what I want to see moving forward. So Brock Lesnar walking out, he's done for a while. Just let him go for a while. Replace him in the match. Have him be replaced by, someone else. Drew McIntyre. There we go. Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar match would have been great. Finally get that rematch. But since Brock's gone, Drew McIntyre could step in. Let's go ahead and just do the Sheamus Drew McIntyre match on SmackDown next week. The winner gets to go ahead and wrestle Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Let's get the belt off Roman Reigns for a while. He needs a break. He's been wanting to take a break. He hasn't been on TV every week. Let's give him a break. Get the belt on Drew McIntyre. Have him come back in time to wrestle Drew or whoever the champion is at Royal Rumble. He can get the title back. They can have him wrestle. The Rock if they're able to bring him in for WrestleMania, or they can have him wrestle. Who are they building up? They were building up as a possible. It's either The Rock or have him wrestle. Oh crap. Anyways, whatever. It's not coming to me. I need to be more prepared if I'm going to do these videos, huh? You can have, Theory, I guess. I think Theory's going to wrestle John Cena, though, so that would be a fun match at WrestleMania. You can have... I don't want to see Seth Rollins. Oh, Cody Rhodes. There we go. You could have Rollins, or you could have Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. I think that's what they're building up. I think Cody Rhodes is going to win the Royal Rumble. We don't need another Seth Rollins match, but let them have a match at some point in time in between at that pay-per-view in between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. Let Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes have their blow-off and have Cody Rhodes wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Unless you can get The Rock back, then The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Obviously, let Cody Rhodes wrestle. Maybe split the titles again and put the other title on Seth Rollins, and then have it be Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins for the title. Maybe make it a little bit more interesting. Drew McIntyre can be in the picture. Bobby Lashley can be in the picture. Bring up Braun Breaker. Bring back some of the wrestlers that need to be brought back. I don't know if Braun Strowman wants to come back. He's kind of doing his own thing. But Bray Wyatt would be great. Bring him back. Let's really give his character a chance. Just bring back whoever we can bring back and just try to rebuild this thing, and get the story going. Austin Theory can have his thing going forward after wrestling John Cena. Have John Cena put him over, something, build these guys up, and let's have some interesting stories moving forward. Interesting matches would be good too. Right now we just keep having the same matches over and over and over again, repetitive, boring matches with no, there's no stakes to them. It's basically like, well, you guys are going to wrestle. One guy's going to lose this week, the next guy's going to lose that week, and it's just going to go back and forth, and there's no stakes, and the stories never end, and they're boring, and we're just done with it. Vince is gone. Let's move on, have better storytelling, better wrestling matches, better characters, and let's just see if we can bring back WWE in a way that makes it interesting to talk about, because I'd love to make videos about it. Yeah, I think that's about it, though. We'll see. Vince McMahon's gone. We'll see who takes over, see if it's Bruce Pritchard, see if Triple H gets to be involved, or if he's just going to focus on fixing NXT since they broke it, because it was fine before. We will see if they can bring any of the wrestlers back in. There's some hints that it's going to be Goldberg, but that would be so stupid. It's like the whole reason that things have been so boring is because Vince McMahon has been running things. And if you're just going to keep running them how he would have done it, so say he was still there and Brock walked out, it wouldn't have happened, but say that happened, then that would have been his first idea. It's like, oh, let's go beg John Cena. He already tried that, I hear. But anyways, let's go beg Goldberg to come in and wrestle in place of Brock Lesnar. No, let's go and pull up one of your guys that can hang in this match. People would love to see Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns, especially if Drew McIntyre pulls out the win and we can kind of get a step away from Roman Reigns for a while, because he's been great, but it's starting to get diminishing returns. It's getting boring. Let's change it up a bit. All right. One last thing, I've been seeing some stories where people are giving the WWE and specifically the broadcast team a hard time because they're not throwing Brock under the bus like they did with Sasha Banks and Naomi. Two things. One, they're hoping that Brock Lesnar comes back. I mean, that's first and foremost. If you can get him back next week, he's wrestling at SummerSlam, and then you can move forward from there. So you don't want to bury him and have him just be even madder than he already is. Two, the whole reason that they buried Sasha and Naomi was because Vince told them to. And Vince isn't there. He's not there. He left. That's the whole point. So no one's telling the announcers what to say. The announcers didn't, I don't think, that the announcers wanted to bury Sasha Banks and Naomi. So no, they're not going to bury Brock Lesnar. Not to mention the fact that Brock Lesnar could legitimately beat him up. It's like, is that a concern? Maybe. I don't think so. No, probably not. My understanding is Brock Lesnar doesn't want to fight. But he will if he has to. He'll defend himself. And he's had to fight a couple of times supposedly backstage. But that's not his goal. If he's going to fight, he's going to make some money, go to the UFC, make some real money. He's not going to just fight someone because they talk crap or whatever. I just don't think that's going to happen. He might intimidate them, though, scare them. Anyways, I don't think that we should be giving the announcers crap about that. I think that, let them move forward. Hopefully it never happens again with any other talent. And let's just give WWE a chance to become something new and something fun again. All right, so that's my wrestling video. I hope you liked it. If you didn't, All right. I don't know how often I'm going to do these, but it's something to do while I don't have any magic product to open. All right, everybody, take care. Have a good day.